What's happening, Marks? I am the other Steve, and it is mid-June in southeastern West Virginia, and that can only mean one thing. It is Bash in Beckley time, and we're going to preview what has now become the premier indie event in West Virginia. And I have the brain trust today. I have first the best damn ring announcer on the indie circuit. We have Adam Harris. We have your trial chief. We have the commissioner of All-Star Wrestling, Stephen P. New. And of course,
acknowledge me.
Acknowledge Stephen P. New. And of course, we have the owner, the promoter, the head honcho, glamorous Gary Dameron. Thank you for coming today, sir. I've never really got to hang out with you. I want you to know I've been coming to your shows for years. Like I have on my Facebook memory 6 years ago, a picture of Adam announcing at the place that I watched indie wrestling for the first time, because I'm from Boone County, Madison Square Garden. I know it's the Civic Center, but that's what we always called it. Gary, tell us what the Bash means to All-Star Wrestling.
Well, the Bash is definitely like our super show. You know, nowadays, a lot of the guys, even Matt Cardona called it that, the WrestleMania of West Virginia. So we like to think that too. It's definitely a show that is bigger than anything we do all year. You know, the Bash is more than just a show. It's more like you were talking earlier. It's more like a convention. I mean, any kind of star that you can think of. We've got legends, we've got current guys there. It's just a huge event, and we're just excited to be a part of it. Excited to be there. We love Beckley. Beckley's a very cool town, and a lot of our people from down here travel up there, so that's a cool thing too. But we have people from all over. I mean, people from different parts of the country are coming up here for this, so very excited to be there this week.
And Gary, you must get so many messages every day about your cards and about, because you sell the tickets for Madison Civic Center. Most of our shows go directly through you, but are you getting interest from all kinds of places throughout the country for the Bash in Beckley? I know people are messaging you day in and day night.
Oh yeah, we get messages from wrestlers and from fans. People wanting to be booked on it. Of course, I get messages all year. People saying, "Hey, what about the Bash in Beckley this year? Can we be booked on that?" So, but yeah, we get messages all the time. People asking different questions about tickets, and of course, for this event, all the ticket sales go through the building. So yeah, we just. We're very, very excited. This is going to be a very busy week. So, just looking forward to getting it started and getting up there. I'm actually coming up on Thursday, so I'll be there days extra. So
look out, Raleigh County. Gary Dameron is coming to your town, and he's bringing the glamorous crew with him. Saturday, June 17th is the Bash in Beckley at the Raleigh County Convention Civic Center. Let's see, it's the Beckley Raleigh County Convention Center there in Beckley, and a place that has a history of wrestling itself. Personally, I went to see Smoky Mountain Wrestling there. On one of our previous videos, Steve, you talk about ICW running in Beckley. I mean, Beckley is a wrestling town, just like West Virginia is a wrestling state. We have one of the best states for wrestling fans, and it's been proven by studies that we're some of the most curious wrestling fans in the whole country, and that's why people turn up for the Bash in Beckley. Saturday, June 17th. And as Gary mentioned, you got to go through the website for the Beckley Convention Center to get the tickets. And Stephen P. New, I got to admit, probably none of this would be happening without you. Is it your idea that we run at the Beckley Convention Center? When did you first think ASW needs to do a show at the Convention Center?
Well, Gary and I talk a lot all the time. And a few years ago, we were talking about how can we kind of grow ASW's footprint when we really started to see things, take hold with expanding the number of shows Gary wanted to run in a year, things like that. So if Gary wanted to run some more shows in a year, I just kind of suggested to him, well, maybe we do it in a place that ASW is not running right now and do that in the summertime and kind of make a big deal out of it if we can. And like Gary said, let the fans in early. The convention center, known to those of us who have drilled there as the Armory, it's a great place, not only for an event, but it's also a great place if you want to have a con or you want to have 2 hours of autograph signings before the matches start. It's just such a great place to do that. There's ample parking. There's lots of hotel rooms in Beckley, lots of restaurants for people to eat. So you're going to make an event out of it. And that's kind of how the Bash in Beckley came to be. It was Gary and I talking like, yeah, why don't we do, post-COVID something in Beckley and do it big. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. You've got pro wrestlers wanting to be booked on this. You've got legends coming in to do the convention portion of it. And the excitement around here, I think Gary and I would be remiss if we failed to mention our partnership with Southern Communications and the radio stations 103.7 WCIR, 93.5 The Buzz, and Lola Reiser and Rick Reiser. They've been staples on the radio here in West Virginia for 30 some years.
I grew up listening to those folks, and 103 CIR was in my blood, growing up. Just
right.
Like watching Smoky Mountain Wrestling on WOAY.
And they've been great partners. They really have.
Go ahead, Gary.
I didn't mean to interrupt anybody. I was just going to say last year you announced Lola from the ring. She got a huge pop.
Definitely. Shell, definitely. She's one of the most popular people in probably like a 3-county area at least. I mean, 103 CIR is a huge station. And it's amazing that they are partnering and helping put, Gary and Steve, both of you guys have helped put West Virginia on the map, I think, for modern, a place where people can come to see modern indie wrestling. And Gary's celebrating 17 years in the business and runs about 10 to 12 shows a year, maybe more this year, even more this year. And so, thanks you guys for all you do for independent wrestling. And the Bash in Beckley, an honor for me, and it's an honor for fans just to be able to come and see independent wrestling in such a historic venue. And if you haven't been to the Bash in Beckley, I mean, everybody compares it to the Norfolk Scope, right? I mean, it's a very similar venue to the ones the guys used to wrestle to, back in the day. And it's such a cool building, and it feels small, even though it's one of the larger venues that you'll see wrestling in. It's an amazing experience to be at the convention center in Raleigh County. So I hope fans, if you're considering it, come up and be with us, be in the moment, and come enjoy some live independent wrestling. And we should talk about the card, because this one has been building a long time. I mean, our heavyweight champion at ASW is the indie god, Matt Cardona. And while he's been great to ASW, he's been really good to Gary and the team here. I don't know that he's won any fans over with the crowds here in West Virginia. He's not exactly the most beloved of performers that I've seen in front of the ASW audience. And yet he's going to put the title on the line in a steel cage, nonetheless, against West Virginia boy and perhaps the most beloved wrestler in the history of ASW, Heath, the one-man band, the redheaded rebel. Oh, baby, he's coming home. Gary, what are your thoughts on the main event for the Bash in Beckley 3?
Well, first of all, I want to say that, the Bash in Beckley was definitely Steve's brainchild. I would have never had the guts to have done something on this caliber had it not been for Steve. I'm very appreciative. Sorry, I just lost I don't have much backing there.
There's an earthquake in Logan.
I definitely appreciate all the guys. We all appreciate Steve for putting us on a platform that we normally wouldn't be on. So very much appreciate Steve. But the main event is going to be off the charts. I'm telling you, both guys are excited about this match. And, when you have a big star like Matt Cardona and Heath that are excited about the match they're going to do for your show, that makes it even more special. So actually, Heath has got new gear. I don't guess he'll mind me telling people. He actually has new gear made just for this match. That's awesome. And it's going to have West Virginia the West Virginia logos all over it. It's really, really cool. So it's just an honor that, guys of their caliber, would be excited about coming to our show and working this match. And Cardona has mentioned it several times on their podcast, the Major Wrestling Figure Pod. So it's going to be great. And both guys have told me there will be blood. So
oh boy,
it's going to be a bloody night in Beckley.
Spoiler alert. Well,
I'm telling you, Adam, I think about that. These guys have been at the top of their profession. It was just 4 years ago that Dustin Dent and I were in New York in the Meadowlands, New Jersey, watching Cardona and Myers win the WWE Tag Team Championships. Now they've been to a number of all-star wrestling shows. And you talked about the lineage of the building, not just ICW running all there. Jim Crockett Promotions ran the Beckley Raleigh County Armory on a regular basis. And then TNA and Impact have done, and Smoky Mountain. But you're talking about very high caliber, high quality wrestling superstars right there in Beckley, and in the main event, West Virginia's own Heath.
Well, and even among all those promotions who have run in Beckley, I don't know how many cage matches there have been.
Is this the first cage match?
Is
this the first cage match in All-Star Wrestling history?
Oh no, we've
had some cage matches. We've had some legendary cage matches. First one that we've had in Beckley, though, and also I know Cardona. He told me that he hasn't done many cage matches. He only one he could name, and it was a 6-man tag.
Wow.
From the Edgehead days. He said you can find it, but that's the only cage match that he said he's been a part of. And so, Of course, they're excited about it. And if I were a ticket holder for the Bash in Beckley, man, I would love knowing that I'm going to be there for a historic moment that both these guys who have been on the grandest stage of them all are excited to put on for the fans in Beckley. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you want to go back to the pandemic. I mean, another match we should talk about. I'm going to switch gears here and talk about Brian Myers, who one of his first indie gigs at all was with ASW in September of 2020. And he's been a regular for us at ASW. And again, not necessarily beloved by the audience, but he's put on some great matches for us here at ASW. And he's got his work cut out for him at the Bash in Beckley on June 17th, because he's taking on John Morrison in Beckley, man. And these are two of the best technical wrestlers, two of the best match makers, two of the most best psychologists in the ring. And I look for this one to be a show stealer in Beckley, West Virginia on June 17th.
Absolutely. Morrison's great. And Myers, of course, is awesome. But getting to work with John Morrison, I guess that night we're going to call him Johnny All-Star. So,
nice.
I was wondering about that.
I wrote down Johnny Bash on my notes for tonight.
I lobbied for Johnny P. New and got shot down on that. It shows what I know.
You can put the law office's phone number on his trunks.
right.
I love it.
So on top of these matches that you're having, Adam, I think we're burying the lead about what this happens before the matches. The Bash in Beckley isn't just one of the best indie cards that you're going to see anywhere. Starting at what time, Steve, does the convention part start?
It's 5 p.m. doors open, Gary, correct?
Right, 5 o'clock. And that's actually one of the most important parts of the show. People love coming in and watching, getting autographs, getting pictures with all the guys. It gives you time to mingle with them. So, from 5 to 7, then at 7, the bell time, and we'll get things kicked off. So, the best thing is to be there early, though, so you can get in those autograph lines.
And at 5 o'clock, when you come in for your autographs, you have got some legends. Now, we've got some current legends on the independent scene in the ring, but Adam Harris, who do we have behind the tables selling their merch?
I'm so excited.
I've been
trying to jump in because I get so excited. I'm sorry.
Who do we have, Adam? Who do we have?
Man, it really is convention worthy. I mean, some people, would come just to see these stars that we have lined up. I mean, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and here's what I'm hoping that I'm going to have a signature on here, this 87 card from the set. I mean, what a beautiful we all know Ricky the Dragon Steamboat has one of the most legendary signatures in all of the business. He takes his time. It's a piece of artwork every time he makes a signature.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. Whatever the fee is going to be for a meet and greet with Ricky Steamboat, it's going to be worth it to have that signature. The one and only Big Papa Pump. I was going to say the big bad Bash Daddy himself, Scott Steiner, is going to be in the building, and so exciting to have him there. And then one that I have not yet been able to get a signature from, but I'm hoping that's the Perfect 10 Baby Doll is going to be in the house at the Bash in Beckley. So whatever generation you are a fan of wrestling, there's going to be someone there for you to meet and greet.
Don't forget, celebrating a birthday today, and the subject of last week's Dark Side of the Ring, Magnum TA. Terry Allen, once again in the building. He's wrestled in this building a number of times. It is a smaller version of his home arena, the Norfolk Scope, but so great. I was so happy when Gary texted or called me and said, man, we've got Magnum coming in. And if you've never spent any time around Magnum, he is the most gracious guy. He will spend as much time with you as you want. He loves taking pictures. He loves hearing stories. And he's just such a fantastic superstar. And I'm so happy that we've got Magnum TA in the building with us this coming Saturday. That's a real treat.
Gary, you've worked with Magnum a few times. Tell us what it's like for you to be able to feature Magnum at the Bash.
Oh, Magnum was a big star when I first started watching wrestling. And then, of course, his accident happened just right there. I think because I started watching about 85, 86.
Me too.
So I remember his accident to this day, and I was just a kid. But getting to work with him is awesome. He's a great guy, very down to earth, very easy to talk to. So, like Steve said, right now he's pretty popular because of the Dark Side of the Ring episode, which was a great episode. But you were talking earlier about Ricky Steamboat. One thing I did want to mention, he has retired from the road. He no longer travels.
Great point.
So we're going to have him there in Beckley. He wanted to come, so that's a great thing for us. This probably will be the only time you'll get to see Ricky the Dragon anymore in person. So, come on out and see Ricky the Dragon, Scott Steiner, Magnum, Baby Doll.
Now, as we're out here selling these tickets like good barkers that we are,
it's your last name. We all, you ought to be good at it.
Where can we get these tickets? And this is a question that I don't know about. Is this going to be on pay-per-view like last year?
It's not going to be on pay-per-view this year, but we are filming it for DVD.
Okay, so where can the good people get these tickets?
You can get the tickets at the Beckley Convention Center. It's www.beckleyconventioncenter.com. So it's BeckleyConventionCenter.com.
And that link's on our Instagram at ASW Wrestling WV and on the Twitter page and also on Facebook. And if you haven't looked Gary Dameron up on Facebook yet, what's wrong with you? You need to come and, although I know he has to delete people in order to accept your friend request. So don't take it personally.
It's crazy.
Well, Gary, I want to talk about one more match specifically. I'm going to run through a few more of the matches on the card. And then maybe we'll close out with a match that I know you are uniquely involved in. I'm excited to see AEW superstar Cole Carter debut for the first time in ASW. Cole Carter has been seen on AEW multiple times. He was also on NXT. I mean, a rare competitor who was on NXT and AEW in the same year. He's got a lot of athleticism. He's got a great look, and I'm excited for the ASW fans to get a glimpse of him up close and in person. And he's kind of going through a rite of passage in his first ASW match. Former ASW champion, a real and true mainstay on the West Virginia independent scene. He's facing Chance Profit at ASW's Bash in Beckley 3. That is not going to be missed. I can't wait to see those two in action. We've also got the Dwayne Richardson Memorial Tag Team Battle Royal, or Tag Team Scramble, rather. This year, we're paying tribute to a wonderful athlete, Gone too soon from Beckley. He's still in the hearts and minds of wrestling fans and sports fans in Raleigh County, Dwayne Richardson, and we pay honor to him every year at the Bash in Beckley. This year with a tag team scramble, I'm sure that's going to be filled with excitement. A three-way match for the women's championship. Judy Ray Hendricks, a emerging talent. The Appalachian Dream has been the ASW champion for several months now, and she's got her work cut out from her. Stepping in the ring against Taya Valkyrie, who just challenged Jade Cargill on AEW television. And it's a triple threat match. Steph DeLander, who is going to be in the house at the Bash in Beckley. Judy Ray defending the ASW Women's Championship in a huge match. And then we've also got the X Division title on the line. Josh Williams, who's a star in the making. You do not want to miss this guy. And he's going to be facing the two, I believe, previous X Division champions, Huff Manley and Seth Martin, in a triple threat match. And believe me, that one is not going to be missed. I'm looking forward to seeing.
That's a potential show stealer right there. Josh Williams is an incredible young talent.
No question.
And anybody that's ever been to an all-star wrestling match, whether it's been in Madison or Hearts or Gilbert or wherever, Huff Manley and Seth Martin, those two guys just have awesome matches every time either one of them's in the ring, be it a singles or a tag, or as it were here, a trios match. So looking forward to that X Division match a lot, Adam.
Yeah, me too. But the ASW fans have grown accustomed recently in seeing their tag team champions accompanied to the ring by the one and only Glamorous Gary, the man who started watching wrestling all those years ago. He's finally stepped up to take on a managerial role with the ASW tag team champions DD Trash, Bruce Gray, and Ron Mathis. And they are teaming up with, Black Machismo. Jay Lethal is going to be in the house at the Bash and Beckley. I can't believe we've gone 20 minutes into this video without talking about Jay Lethal, but he's going to be teaming with the ASW tag champs against Mason Miles and the Heat Seekers. Gary Dameron, this is a first for you, right? I mean, you've done 3 Bash and Beckleys now, but this will be your first time at ringside in the convention center.
Crowd that size, so little nervous, but it'll be fine. I'm actually going to be focused more on Danny Ray and making sure he don't get involved in the match, which I'm sure he will. So, but yeah, I'm excited to going out there to, that big crowd. That's going to be amazing. So
tell me real quick, Gary, who do you draw your inspiration from as a manager? I mean, who do you think you mimic when it comes to taking care of the day to day for the tag champion?
Can I take a guess?
On if they were babyface? Bobby Heenan was never a babyface.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And I was some guy said I was classy Freddie Blassie. But I don't know. I like to think Jimmy and Bobby were my 2 favorite managers. So
nice.
But I'll take that. I'll take classy Freddie Blassie too. He was awesome.
Now, like a good manager, are you training your men? Are we working on strategies? What kind of guidance are you giving your tag team?
Oh, well, they're in a gym every day. They actually get to the gym late at night. So they'll message me and they'll say, hey, we think we might try to do this. We might try to do that. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. What about this? So yeah, we talk quite a bit actually. Ron and Bruce have became 2 of my dearest friends. So we're real excited. We're ready for Beckley.
Well, it's going to be an exciting 6-man tag when the ASW champs tag up with Jay Lethal to take on Mason Miles and the Heat Seekers, who are literally one of the best and most respected tag teams on the independent scene. It's not going to be an easy task for you guys. So, Gorgeous Gary, you've got your work cut out for you. And Steve, that this is going to be the highest caliber of action.
Hey, the Heat Seekers, for those of you all who don't know, former ASW tag team champions, 4-time NWA tag team champions. They were just in the Crockett Cup last weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're bringing you not only this high caliber talent, Jay Lethal, his resume speaks for itself, former world champion, TNA, Ring of Honor, but the Heat Seekers have been a staple in all-star wrestling. And Gary, not to worry, if you need me to bring a tennis racket to help you handle Danny Ray, I just hope Danny Ray wears an extra pair of Depends that night. We know his IBS is uncontrolled a lot of times, and I just really hope he wears an extra pair of Depends.
Absolutely. We definitely will do that. One thing about the boys, DD Trash, they're trash. They're trash boys, but I'm to make them like we color coordinate, and that's something that's new to them. So if I wear a blue suit, they got to have something blue on too. So we look like a team. So yeah, that's a little different for them, but we're getting there.
Wow.
Hey,
A little insight there, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell you what, it's June 17th in lovely downtown Beckley, Stephen P. News stomping grounds. First, Steve, I need you to know I'm going to need the passcode to the gate to get into your community, because I will be staying in the upstairs bedroom this year afterwards.
Yeah.
The first
Not
time
in the driveway like last time.
Well, last year I had to park cars before you let me come into the after party of Bash and Beckley.
Yeah, that was only because you left a Nia Jax t-shirt on my mailbox. You got what you had coming to you, Barker.
Oh my.
Wrap us up, Adam.
June 17th, the Bash in Beckley. Oh man, you should be there. If anybody has any doubt whether ASW is the hottest thing in independent wrestling here in the Mountain State of West Virginia, just buy a ticket to the Bash in Beckley. Prove yourself right by coming to see the best in independent wrestling. Gary Dameron, it's great to have you here in the House of Kayfabe. For the other Stephen P. New, and the newest hog farmer in the business, Stephen P. Godwin, we're wrapping things up for the House of Kayfabe. See you at the Bash in Beckley.